Welcome to episode 7 of the SitRep Happy Hour. I'm Mike, and joining me today, as always, is Luke.
Hello.
And we also have Brad.
Hello.
And he's still awake after his lovely halloumi fries and double stack burger. That's Robert. Hello.
Kudos on the dinner choice, Rob. That did look really quite lush.
Yeah, it was.
I hope you guys have been well, and welcome to any new listeners. First off, boys, what are we drinking this week? Robert, I'm going to go straight to you because you showed something like off screen that looks kind of fancy.
Oh, I mean, I've just finished a summer pale ale from Co-op. It doesn't.
That's not that fancy.
It doesn't taste very nice. And then I've got a
Tell the boys and girls listening what you described it as earlier, Rob.
fizzy piss.
Thank you.
And then I've got another bottle of red wine. A Cabernet Sauvignon from Australia.
We need Rob's wine reviews, don't we, Luke?
This week on Rob Butcher's French.
I do know how to say it. I just find it amusing to say it wrong.
Can you say it in an Australian accent?
No.
Well, you can ask him the same question once he's finished the bottle of wine.
Exactly what I was going to say.
And that'll be a yes. In fact, you won't even get an answer, Brad. It will just be...
It'll just be
I don't know what that was.
an unaudible slur.
Brad, what are you drinking this week, dude?
I am drinking a bottle of Sol.
Bottle of sun.
Or as what Luke calls...
Fizzy
Piss
piss.
lager or something.
I don't think I slagged it off as much as you're crediting me with slagging it off.
I think you did.
I think it was just that Brad was like, I've had a really busy day. And then he showed a picture of his fridge and I was like, what a busy day is
Putting
filling
shit beer.
Yeah, putting shit beer in your fridge. Now all of a sudden I hate Sol.
Look, if he'd have turned up with a lemonade, you'd be even more fucked off, though, wouldn't you?
Hey, lemonade has its uses.
Yeah, depending what you're putting it with.
It's great, great drinking.
Speaking of which, Luke, what are you drinking this week?
I am currently nursing the end of a Thatcher's lemon cider.
Very nice.
But I've been ill this week, so there's a rum and coke sitting for me in the kitchen. So,
Is that to make you feel better, or is that catch-up juice?
Somewhat medicinal, somewhat catch-up juice.
Okay. And this week, yet again, I'm drinking Thatcher's Haze. But before that, I was drinking basically a whole can with vodka. A whole can of energy drink with vodka because I was absolutely shattered from this week's activities. It was my son's 5th birthday, and I was literally sat downstairs earlier. I was just like falling asleep, so I had to go get something. And I try and stay away from them, so I went and got a sugar-free one. But yeah, I thought, what's better than putting it with vodka? And then I didn't know until I tried it that it was like an appley sour one. And for me, one of the best things that goes with vodka is like apple tango because it like hides the taste of vodka.
It does.
And everyone's smiling in chat now. So
We all know this
It
story,
does.
that's why. I would imagine listeners of our previous podcast will know that story as well.
if you don't know, very briefly, I basically one time drank a very small bottle of vodka by myself with a bottle of apple tango. The measurements I cannot describe because it was probably all over the place. And then I got to where I was going and had to be brought home within about half an hour of being there because I threw up.
Nice.
Did this have anything to do with Bandcamp?
No, I've never been to Bandcamp.
That's fine.
What about you?
No, it's just the way you started the story. Well, this one time.
Yeah. But Rob can validate that.
Were we in
to be
fancy
fair.
dress at the time?
Yes. Because
I remember which time this was now.
because I had to put the makeup or the face paint on your wife. That sounds so wrong. And I kept calling her Captain Pooh Face or something. Do you remember?
No.
Because we went like as army people and we had like army face paint and all the rest of it, camouflage paint. But she had a lot of brown on her face.
Oh, yeah, we put shoe polish on our face, didn't we?
Yeah. Anyway, what have we been up to this week? Boys, obviously, Luke's been knocking on death's door, so I'm going to go to Brad.
Hello.
been up to this week? He's just saying hello, Egg.
Yeah.
I've already done that, Brad.
Sorry, it's that sweet lag kicking in.
Yeah. I finally finished the story on Ghost of Tsushima, so I finished that now.
You've got all the Satsumas, yeah.
I've got all the Satsumas, yeah. That was really good. Started watching season 5 of Lucifer.
Nice.
That's not bad so far. It's been pretty good.
What did I tell you to watch after that?
Sorry.
Didn't I tell you to watch something after that? And I can't remember what it was. I remember you saying I've got to get through Lucifer first.
The Boys.
The Boys, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty good since Netflix have taken it, to be honest. So, yeah.
Yeah, you got half a season left or something, haven't you?
Yeah, so there's 8 episodes, and I think we've done 4, and then there's another 8 at the end of the year or something.
And then that's it.
Yeah, and I joined a football team outside of that, which has been fun.
Nice. Now, someone that has absolutely blitzed a certain game this week. Robert, I'm going to go to you.
Tarkov?
No,
Oh, I know
can't.
what you're talking about. That was last week, but I downloaded and played through Horizon Zero Dawn.
In like 3 days.
Jesus.
It wasn't that quick, but it was. I did it pretty quickly, I must admit.
Oh, 4 days.
I enjoyed it. It was a good story.
I enjoyed it so much, I didn't go to sleep.
Nor saw my family for 4 days.
You know, I tend to smash through stuff pretty quickly, but yeah, it was good. So I just
The story is good in that game.
I just feel sorry for Shao. I mean, that's how you got twins, I assume. But there we go.
I didn't like. There's a bit of armor that you get in the game that kind of doesn't ruin the game, but it makes it very easy
Yeah.
and kind of makes a lot of the mechanics redundant. But yeah, it's good. I didn't really. Sorry, I didn't play the
Frozen
expansion
Wilds. Yeah.
because I started it and then realized the storyline was pretty much exactly the same as the main game, just with slightly different like robots. So I just didn't bother finishing it.
Fair enough. But you enjoyed it, and how did it run on PC? Because I've heard
it's
a lot
beautiful.
Is it?
Yes.
I've heard a lot of people have had a few issues with it, but you didn't think you had. Well, you said you didn't have that many issues, did you?
No, I didn't, because there was crashes and stuff. I think my game crashed once, maybe. There was a bug. There's a bug where you have to run. It's like an optimization you have to run every time. I think you're supposed to only do it the first time you install it and play it. But there's a bug where it just keeps happening, which was a bit annoying because it took like 2 minutes before you play into a game. But it's just like playing it on PlayStation, I guess. Slow loading times.
I suppose the last question is, how good do you think that game would look on a 30 series RTX graphics card?
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, though, am I?
It hasn't got ray tracing, so it won't make much difference. But yeah, it would look good in 4K and HDR, I imagine. 120 frames per second.
Yeah, I was watching that Doom video of the 30 series at 4K at 150 frames per second, and I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty shit hot. But Doom is a pretty good looking game anyway. Anything else you've been up to this week?
I've watched loads of films.
Yeah, you watched Get Duped, didn't you?
I did.
You didn't think that much of it, though.
It's, well...
Without spoiling it, I guess.
Okay.
Well, explain what it is, and then kind of go from there. If you can.
It's the Duke of Edinburgh Award, but with a load of like delinquents, except for one. One's like a homeschooled boy, and they it's get into shenanigans and it's. Oh, I want to compare it to another film, but it would ruin it, so I'm not going to say.
What, The Hunt?
No.
That movie's terrible.
She's good in it though. The lead actress is good in it. But I kind of agree with you.
It's a poor movie with a poor script, so she's like polishing a turd the whole time. But yeah, okay.
It's Blumhouse films, though, isn't it? I mean, they're made for a couple million, and they either do really well or don't get too far. I mean, look at The Invisible Man. I'm pretty sure that's a Blumhouse film as well. And like they're kind of, I'd say out of those two, probably The Invisible Man was probably the better one of the two. But
the original Invisible Man or the recent remake?
No, the remake.
Yeah, the remake is fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's Rob's review of Get Juiced. I quite enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting a lot from it, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty much just four mates go to Scotland to do the Duke of Edinburgh Award, and a load of shit happens. Some of it, I think, is pretty funny, and I don't know, I guess it depends on your sense of humor, but if you just want to turn it off your brain for about an hour and a half, it's decent enough. Luke, what have you been up to this week? Apart from Tarkov.
It's been 2 weeks since we last recorded, so you can't say this week.
Oh, yeah, 2 weeks.
I haven't played much computer games this week because I've been really ill. So, you know, when your eyes just won't stop leaking, I find it quite hard to concentrate on computer games. So I've watched quite a lot of TV and movies and shit.
You've been watching a lot of sappy films over the last couple of weeks, have you?
No. I mean, sappy chick flicks do have a place in everybody's movie collection, but I haven't really been watching those this week.
You've been watching The Notebook on repeat, haven't you? It's your comfort bedtime movie, isn't it?
It's a masterpiece, all right? Leave it alone.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I'm joking, by the way.
It's a good film to master.
I can't actually. The problem is I can't remember what movies I've watched. I know I watched Ava, which is awesome.
What's that about? Because I know you were telling me about that. I haven't seen it, but I know Jessica Chastain's in it, who I know you like.
Yeah, she's brilliant. It's I mean you could really describe it as like a cookie cutter sort of assassin movie, but the fact that it's Jessica Chastain as the lead and not any given male actor that's the assassin, it does make it somewhat different. So I really enjoyed it. I mean, she's a great actress. The twist you could see coming from a mile off, and then the ending leaves it completely open for a sequel. But tell me a movie that doesn't do that nowadays.
Yeah, there's quite a few, isn't there, nowadays, which is a shame.
Yeah, but for an hour and a half, an hour and 50 minutes, something like that, it is really quite entertaining. So I would recommend people to watch it.
What's his face is really good in it as well. Her handler, can't remember what his name is in real life.
John Malkovich.
Yeah,
he's great. He's great.
You said you watched The Relic as well. You didn't think that much of it, I believe.
Correct. It's not the greatest horror movie I've ever watched. It's not terrible.
No.
What was the Kevin Bacon one we spoke about on the previous episode? That is a bad horror movie. But yeah, the Relic wasn't terrible.
I watched a bad horror movie as well.
What did you watch?
That's cool. Host.
What, the Japanese? The Host?
No, it's
Oh, you're talking about the 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes Host, aren't you? That's less than an hour long.
It was made during lockdown, and it's basically a horror film over a Zoom call.
Oh, I've heard about this. Is it not actually any good, or?
I didn't enjoy it, but then it's not very surprised, is it?
I'm surprised you watched a horror film.
I was just going to say, did you lose a bet to watch this horror movie?
No, Cheryl put it on. I didn't know really what was going on until like halfway through. There was some funny bits in it that I found hilarious. That probably weren't supposed to be funny, to be fair. But, yeah, it's very low budget.
Like most horror films.
Yeah. It was basically a cliche of everything I described as horror films from last time we talked about horror films?
See,
I think it was.
I told you have to look out for the good ones, not the shit ones. Unfortunately, you have to wade through the shit ones to get to the good ones.
All right, Mr. King of Reviews. Surely you would think a movie that's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes would be good.
Hey, there's no films out, so they're probably like, yeah, well, we better give it something.
Is that a good score then, is it?
How does the host stack up against Old God?
Um,
That's our barometer now, isn't
I was
it?
going to ask you the same about Ava because it sounded similar.
I prefer Ava to Old God. I've got a
yeah,
new
same
barometer.
actually. Yeah.
Yes.
But the downside is, I mean, you can't compare the two. Like, I mean, they're both films. They've got nothing in common.
Actually, Michael, I didn't. I think you'll find Bradley compared the two.
No, but that's going to end up being a running joke, isn't it now? The same way Boris asked me, is it a running joke to keep recommending Dark, or you actually recommending Dark?
See,
I'm like,
I've had a lot of time on my hands this week to watch that, and I purposely didn't. Just to annoy you.
It's because you're a cunt.
Because I'm a cunt. I watched
dude.
the first series of the Umbrella Academy instead.
See, what the fuck, dude? You had the choice between Umbrella Academy and Dark, and you picked the wrong one.
I said that you picked the wrong one, and I felt bad for saying it. And I know you're like one of those people that if people say, you should watch this, and you're like, well, he said watch that, so I ain't going to do what you fucking told me to do.
It's not that. The problem is, usually when I watch something that people have told me to watch because they say it's like life-changingly brilliant, it's not.
Yeah, no, I know, because you're expected. Yeah, it's your expectations from it at the end of the day.
But
And,
yeah, we say that
understand
nearly every episode as well, don't you? Know, everything we watch is subjective. Like what I like,
But-
you don't like, and what
all right.
Brad likes, Rob doesn't like, etc., and so on. So
I'm going to say this then. Dark's fucking shit. Go watch it.
did you just tell me what to do?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
That was Brad. He's like, don't blame me.
Don't drag me into this.
What the hell have I been up to this week?
No one asked you, Mike. No one cares.
Yeah,
Yeah, no one cares. I actually sat down to watch a couple of things. First of all, I don't know if you guys know or if anyone out there has seen it already, but the Karate Kid Netflix TV series, Cobra Kai, it's now Netflix. It was on YouTube originally. It was a YouTube original series. They had the original like some of the members of the original cast of the original film, The Karate Kid. I can't remember the bloody guy's name. They had they've got Danny LaRusso. Is it Danny LaRusso?
That's his name in the film.
Yeah, they've got Danny LaRusso. He's back, and the guy that he fights, I can't remember his bloody name. And I've been watching this. I'm like,
the thumbnail on Netflix is the guy that loses in the final, and his
Yeah.
trainer.
yes, yeah,
Right.
It's really good. Like,
I've watched the first episode.
not on board.
No.
Really,
Yeah.
the acting's. I
It just
can't
made me
expect
cringe
a lot
the
from
whole way
it.
through. I was just like,
Ooh. I think it gets better, but he basically becomes like a reverse Mr. Miyagi. They basically kind of redo The Karate Kid as a TV show where Daniel LaRusso is now a dickhead, and the guy that got defeated is basically a bum, but he teaches a kid karate, but it's now the Cobra Kai way of doing it instead of the Mr. Miyagi, and it's pretty good. And they do like throwbacks, you know, like you don't have to watch the original films or anything to kind of get what's going on, because then they keep like, don't they, Rob? They keep putting in like clips, don't they, of the original films and stuff, which is like,
yeah, that
It's
first
kinda-
episard, you see him get kicked in the face several times.
yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm so bummed
He just
out
keeps
about
flashing back to it. I don't know why you would torture yourself like that.
Are there any flashbacks to the Jaden Smith version?
I just see a flash of Jackie Chan.
it. No, he's just like creeping around a corner or something. But I thought it was really good. I don't know. I haven't finished Umbrella Academy, so that's shown
Umbrella Academy 1 or 2?
season 2, but season 2 is better. I think the problem with season 1 is they're all over the place, and it's not. It's
setting,
very
setting up the characters as well.
yeah.
Season 2, you're
Oh
like,
my
yeah.
god, they go far too far into character development in season 1. It's like, will you just fucking get on with it already?
Yeah, well, they rein it back. They do about half an hour, 40-minute episodes in the second series of Umbrella Academy, and I don't know. Second season's a lot better. There's no jumping around. It's just
Right,
straightforward.
okay.
They don't fuck around. It's so
I wasn't that fussed with season 1, but I might give season 2 a try then, because it wasn't terrible. It was just, like I
Surprised
say,
you finished it.
took about 5 episodes for something really important to happen, and then it actually went at a decent pace from there. So
Trying to think, what else did I watch? So yeah, I've been watching that. I watched the Action Point movie. Now, for those of you who don't know, Action Point is a film based on a park or events that actually happened. It's a film by Johnny Knoxville. It's basically Johnny Knoxville for about an hour and a half doing
Welcome to Jackass.
Yeah, basically. He fixes himself to a catapult at one point and then throws himself into a barn, and it's just
why? He's an old man now. He shouldn't be doing it anymore.
He jumps out of a tree at one point onto a corrugated roof and then bounces onto the floor. It looks so painful. I don't know. I can't explain it. But if you don't know what Action Park is, that is basically what it was based on, which is what is it? It's just a theme park or adventure park that people used to go to in like the 80s and 90s, and there was no rules. There was no rules at all. So what is the perfect mixture of an adventure park or a theme park with no rules? Things designed by fucking idiots that have no engineering skills, and then they throw alcohol in there, and people died, unfortunately, as a result. Now, this is based kind of around that, and there's meant to be like a whole family story. But if you want to see dumb shit happen for about an hour and a half, it's...
What's Jackass?
Yeah. I found it funnier than Get Juked, put it that way. I honestly found it funnier than Get Juked. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay.
And apart from that, the last thing I've been up to this week, I kind of bought Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 today.
Nice. Is it good?
Of course you
or have you not played it yet?
I haven't completed it yet. No. I was like, how much space have I got left on my PlayStation? Because I'm at that point now. I've only got a 500 gig hard drive, and it's like 25 gig. I was like, why can they not just fit it all on a fucking disc? But anyway, oh my god, it's really good.
Why did you get it on PC?
Because I wanted my boy to play it as well. So I want me and him to kind of play it. The downside is I jumped on, I started playing it. I'm used to the analog stick. I couldn't remember how to manual. I'm like doing all these tricks and stuff like that. I absolutely suck with sticks on Tony Hawk's. I don't remember sucking this bad. And I realized, when we first played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, I don't know if anyone else remember, we didn't have analog sticks. We had D-pad.
Yeah, there weren't any on the original
PlayStation
controllers.
No, so I went back and I was like, oh shit, I gotta use the freaking D-pad.
How did you do the tricks then? I can't remember.
You do the D-pad and square. Yeah.
Wasn't it?
No, it's that's skate, I think. But basically, you do all the D-pad, and square is flips, circles grabs, X is ollie. You got reverse and atomic acid bombs and stuff like that. I couldn't remember how to manual. I had to go through the whole freaking tutorial again on how to play Tony Hawk's. But the good thing is, I remembered the majority of it, and it's really good for a complete remaster. Fair fucking play. It's definitely worth. I think it's worth the money, and the soundtrack's fucking good.
Did you buy the special edition that gives you the skateboard?
Oh,
no.
What a loser.
I probably should have done, but no, I didn't.
Honestly, I expected for you to say yes, and then in 2 weeks' time, when we come back to record again, the skateboard will be behind you on the
wall. Dude, I could just buy a skateboard to put behind me and be like, yeah, I should have just done that.
It's not the skateboard, though, is it?
It's fine. I'll be on eBay in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, true.
No, nobody's gonna want it. It's fine. But yeah, it's really good. And I'm glad it's getting decent reviews, because I went through and looked at a couple of the reviews of the most recent Tony Hawk's games, and they got pretty low towards the end, 5.3 or 5, when IGN were doing really stupid ass scores. But yeah, it's really good.
I can't remember the last. I think the last Tony Hawk I played, it was the one with Alcatraz, and you could get in a shopping trolley on Alcatraz and ride down a hill.
I think the last one I played was American Wasteland.
Yeah, that's the last one I played as well. That was a good one. That was really
Yeah.
good.
The only issue I've got is I just kind of want to get off my skateboard like we did in like the latter games, but they don't do that. And I was like, oh, I wish we could do that. But apart from that, it's good. It's really good. Anyway, before we go any further, Luke, over to you. I take it you have a question prepared for this week.
As always. Okay. This month marks the 30th anniversary of one of my favourite movies ever, Goodfellas.
Fellows.
Goodfellas.
All right, okay. Just checking.
Is it Goodfellas? That's the English version, right?
Yeah. Goodfellas.
Wouldn't the English version be like Polite Fellows or something?
Yeah, it wouldn't be Goodfellas. It'd be something else, I expect. But anyway.
During the 20th anniversary sort of celebrations, whatever you want to call it, one of the producers was doing some interviews and revealed whom was his favourite to play the legendary role of Henry Hill that went to Ray Liotta. I am asking you this week if you know who that actor was, who nearly took that role, basically.
Do we know who that is?
He's quite a famous actor, yes. And no, it's not Keanu Reeves.
Okay, we'll save that for another episode then.
Jessica Chastain.
I said actor.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, man.
Incorrect. Although I would love to see Goodfellas with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Trying to think.
We're not allowed to give right answers, though, are we?
Well,
So I could guess,
if you gave a right answer, I'd probably ignore you, but I'd be amazed if you got the right answer because I've had this question ready for a couple of weeks because I knew that September was the anniversary of Goodfellas, so I've been holding on to it. But I didn't believe it the first time I read it. I've had to read it from multiple sources to believe it because it would ruin the movie, in my opinion. Like Will Smith would have ruined Matrix, this guy would have ruined Goodfellas.
I don't think he would have ruined it.
He wouldn't have
wouldn't
ruined it.
Given as much of a wooden performance as Keanu Reeves.
The
been a
Matrix
very
would
different
not
film.
be the same without Keanu Reeves in it.
No, not at all. His dedication to like martial arts and weapon.
I watched the Matrix this week with my 5-year-old son.
I also watched it this week, but I don't have a son.
So you
Dexter,
watched it with his
I
dog.
generally
You didn't watch it. You didn't watch it with Rob's 5-year-old son.
I generally thought he wasn't going to be interested, but I like explained it to him in like layman's terms. And
Can I ask? At the end of the film, did he go?
no, he was like, "Is there more?" I was like,
Unfortunately,
there is, but you're not watching them because they're crap.
Did you say no?
But no, I
exist?
said there were, but I said they're rubbish, so you don't want to watch them.
So he basically did a Neo after the fighting scene, after the fighting upload bit, where he learns kung fu. He's like, "Give me more."
Yeah.
do you think he's going to be in the playground now with like a red gummy bear and a blue gummy bear, being like,
No, but do what really find me this like when he first saw Morpheus, he just pointed and laughed at him and said, "Look, he's got baby teeth." And it just made me laugh.
What happened with the whole mouth bit? Did you have to cover his eyes or what?
What do you mean?
On the whole, like his mouth gets like stitched together, doesn't it?
No. It doesn't get stitched together.
Yeah, it
it
does.
just goes. I mean, I could quote the line, but I'm not going to.
I know you could quote line. You've been telling me.
I trust me, I've still got it. When we were watching it, I was like, Dexter was like, "How do you know all this?"
I've seen this film many a times.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
good.
we've gone well off track off the back of Luke's question, but yeah, hopefully
It's my fault
listeners
for
can-
mentioning Keanu Reeves.
No, that's fine. Hopefully listeners can figure that out. I just thought before we kind of leave that, I'd love to see what Scarface would have looked like with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think Brad said Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that. I was like, I'd love to see what that film would look like with Arnold Schwarzenegger doing it instead of Pacino.
That's another
I
one of
don't
those
think I did,
movies
but-
that you can't really see anybody else in the role.
I don't know. I'd love to see it. Though.
I'd see it, but it'd be just cringe-worthy crap as opposed to Pacino doing Scarface was just brilliant.
Anyway, obviously over the last couple of weeks, we're probably a little bit behind with some of the news that's going on. There's been Gamescom. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if you guys checked out Gamescom. There wasn't really a lot of stuff there. There's a couple of things I'm personally interested in, which is Ghost Runner. I know, Brad, you're interested in Ghost Runner.
Yes.
As well. There's a new trailer for it, but there's not really that many details from it at the minute. I think we find out in a couple of weeks. It's like the 15th or the 19th of September.
The new card looks good.
Yes, it does to a degree. But none of it feels like next gen.
Ratchet
Like, that's the
and
only
Clank.
thing. I feel like you're just saying words now.
What, Ratchet and Clank?
Yes, you're just spitting stuff at me. I was going to say
that was next gen-ish.
That's the only. I would say that's the only game at the minute that feels like it's using next gen capabilities. Is Ratchet and Clank? Was it Enter the Nexus, or I can't remember, or has that one already been? I can't remember.
Don't
know. Brad, did you see the trailer for Ratchet and Clank at all?
I've only seen the PlayStation event one. I haven't seen the new one. I haven't really looked at anything from Gamescom. I forgot it was happening, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, with the situation at the minute with COVID-19 and the rest of it, I can imagine this is like the best they did. They could actually do at the minute. But from everything that they showed, it felt like Ratchet and Clank was like the only standout as a next-gen title. Everything else is kind of more of the same, or you're getting PC graphics, which isn't like a snob, but it just feels like we're just waiting for something completely new, but we're not going to get it for a couple of years.
I know it wasn't part of Gamescom, but I think it was like a couple of days before the new Batman title game thing, 4-player co-op. I can't remember what it's called.
Gotham City Knights.
That's it. That looks
good.
Well,
we can move on to that. So basically, this week we're probably going to spend the majority of the time talking about the DC fandom event. Rob, do you want to kind of explain what Gotham Knights is? Seems you're a DC expert on the show.
No, I mean
you probably are.
I've seen the trailer. That's it.
I've
seen it once.
The Schumacher films.
And it was like a week ago, so my memory's vague as shit. But it's like, I think spoilers, Batman's dead, and they've got to look after Gotham. It's all like the Robins, and Alfred's helping a little bit.
So it's Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Batgirl, isn't it?
Yeah, and somehow Barbara's got legs again.
Damian Wayne's going to turn up at some point as well in the DLCs, for sure.
Brad, do you think this is going to be a 4-player? Have they confirmed it's a 4-player co-op game?
I don't know, but I hope it is.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a 4-player co-op thing. I'm interested. The only thing I would be a little bit worried about is this is done by the same studio that gave us, what was it, Batman Origins?
Oh, they did the bad one.
Yeah, that's see. But I mean, that could be down to budget, time constraints, and all the rest of it. So I mean,
they are using the Court of Owls storyline, which I read in the comics, and I even have an action figure from it because it was really good.
Like I said, you're our DC knowledge person on this.
Nerd.
They didn't show any gameplay though, did they? It was just
no. I thought they did for that one.
Yeah, there's gameplay.
Yeah,
I thought it was still like cinematic. I can't remember.
There's definitely gameplay for that.
Yeah, because of the fight scenes and stuff like that. I'm definitely interested. I thought that was done by Rocksteady to start with, but then I realized it's not. It's done by the other studio. I don't know.
I'm just glad they're using a new villain rather than not rehashing the same old villains over and over again.
What, Joker?
Yeah.
Well, like, which villain was it?
It's the Court of Owls, so it's Talon, and there's loads of people wearing white owl masks.
Oh yeah.
Luke, did you get a chance to check out this one? I can't remember if you did or not.
No, I didn't. I'm afraid.
Would you be interested in a four-player co-op game like this? Does it sound kind of good? I don't really know what we'd expect from a 4-player co-op Batman game. I guess most of it's going to be PvE, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd give it a go as long as it was done right and there was plenty of content to go at.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be looter shooter division style sort of repeat, is it? So it's going to be like a one and done, I guess. But
What game was that?
Do we know if it's like
I can't remember what game I was talking about, Rob. Sorry.
Do we know if it's open world or if it's like level based? Do we know?
It looks like a Batman game, but you've
I'm
not
hoping it's
using
4-player.
Batman.
Yeah. So it's the DLCs from Batman, but 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
That would be
I
good.
mean,
then.
I don't know if it's 4-player co-op, but
Yeah,
it's
if it is,
it's definitely 2-player because I've seen people
Yeah.
doing like combo moves and stuff in the fights.
Yeah. It looks good. I'll give it that.
that you could do that in. I think they did that in Arkham Knight. Was that the last one? But it was like AI. Like they just came in every now and then and like did a combo move.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So it could be that.
I've got them on the Epic Store at the minute, so I need to. I'll be honest. After seeing the couple of trailers that came out, I'm on board with playing. Definitely playing Gotham Knights. Off the back of that, there was the Suicide Squad game trailer, which had Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Boomerang, and King Shark. I feel like. I mean, when's that game coming out? Is it next year, Brad?
2022.
2022. And then we've obviously got the Suicide Squad movie out next year.
Next year,
as
yeah.
well.
Is that game trailer? Is that where they're all on a roof and they're trying to figure out who they're trying to kill?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I've seen that.
it looked pretty good. Well,
yeah.
the cinematic was
I
good.
was just going to say, as a cinematic, it was really good, but
Yeah.
I
We'll see.
hate when they do that with game trailers. It's just like,
Yeah.
show us even just a little bit of game footage, please.
Well, it got rumored for a while that there was the Court of Owls game, and then it got rumored for a while that there was a Superman game. So this kind of we got 2 games out of it, which is decent. So to be fair,
I did like the bit at the end where he hits him in the head with the boomerang.
He's like,
I shouldn't have done that.
Brad, give us a bit of what's actually happening in the trailer for Suicide Squad, the game.
So it's a cinematic and they're up on a roof just sort of dossing around. I think I can't remember the start of it. Is there like bad guys? Is it robots there?
Yeah, something like that, isn't
Shooting,
it?
yeah.
And then you got
So
Amanda Waller like going, "Oh, you need to get to the HVT or something like that."
Yeah, so they wipe out all these bad guys and they end up on this rooftop, and then they are like, "Oh, do we know who the HVT is?" And then they turn around and Superman's there with red laser eyes.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, I guess that's the bad guy." Maybe Rob will be able to answer this question. Why the fuck does Boomerang seemingly have flash powers?
I don't know.
He has super speed in this trailer. Is that to be able to keep
Maybe
up? I
because
guess
he's just like not a very good supervillain, so they had to give him some other powers. Because being able to throw a boomerang really well isn't really a superpower, is it?
And just have wisecracks off the back of that as well. Yeah, Luke. I don't know if you know that much about the Flash and that, but basically, Boomerang is the Flash's
Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang is like one of the Flash's like rogue gallery villains, sort of thing. So yeah.
There's a lot of. I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit, but there's a lot of the characters in Suicide Squad movie that I never heard of.
No, that's fine. Before we go any further, I'm gonna say that I do feel like
They're like D-list villains, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the Suicide Squad or the Suicide Squad 2, whatever you want to call it, the King Shark is basically has been announced as being one of the cast members in that. He's in the Suicide Squad game. I gotta be honest, like with the Harley Quinn TV show and King Shark being in that, done by Ron Funches from
no way.
Balls. Yes, you need to watch it, Rob. He's like, I'm a king, I'm a shark, but I will eat you, or something like that at some point. It's really fucking good.
Do we think this is the
This is the start of the King Shark Renaissance.
Well, the superhero that our boy
we deserve.
Shia LaBeouf is going to play.
What, King Shark?
We were trying to figure it out an episode ago, weren't we? So, you know.
Well, we can kind of move on.
He's going to be an X-Men, isn't he? Not.
Yeah.
That's Marvel.
Yeah.
Who,
I'm
LaBeouf?
sorry to. I feel like I've let Brad down this week. I've got no Shia LaBeouf news unless he wants to find any in the next 10 minutes or so.
think
He's
there
still
is
crazy. Done.
He hasn't gone crazy this week. It's fine. But yeah, moving on to the Suicide Squad. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. This film has a fuck ton of cast members, and they all ain't gonna make it through this film at all. I'm gonna go straight to Brad on this one, dude. What did you think of A, the cast announcement, and B, the behind the scenes trailer, or just your general thoughts of it?
Yeah, so it's a really good cast. Like you said, there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of quite big names attached to it. And also, like you said, they're not all going to make it through the whole film. But yeah, from what they showed, it looks like it's going to be just quite a fun, crazy action film. And I think if you're going to have a team that's supposedly going to be able to take on the Justice League or Superman, I'm not sure if they're doing that in this film, but then you need a big team with lots of different characters. I think it's a good way to do it. But yeah, it looks good.
This cast list is absolutely insane. You got John Cena, Jai Courtney. You've got freaking what's his face? You got Doctor Who himself,
Peter Capaldi, Nathan Fillion,
Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, Michael Rooker's in it, Steve Agee, fucking Sean Gunn is the Weasel in it as well. I can't believe Sean Gunn is in it as the Weasel. I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna be playing like some CGI character that isn't. Well, I thought he was playing. You know, they reveal a whole host of characters. Like the Polka Dot Man. I'm trying to think who else you got. You got Ratcatcher.
Yeah.
I can't remember who Michael Rooker's character is.
Bloodsport is Idris Elba.
Yeah, because unfortunately, Deadshot will not be in this film. So instead of recasting him,
a bit of a DC fanboy, I don't recognize half of those characters.
So I feel like you failed the show. Then is that what you're saying?
I feel like they've scraped the bottom of the barrel. Just in case they want to use like the C-listers at some point in the future.
The only reason I recognize any of those names is because I listened to another podcast and I'm about a year behind.
You did what?
So this is when it got. Sorry,
you did what?
Yeah, I won't say the name. I won't plug another podcast.
You won't do what I do as well.
Yeah, so that is when they got announced, and one of them was like, if they're going to do this, I want to see this whole cast with all these, just put all these characters in, and he literally reeled off all the characters that are now in the film.
Yeah, because these are the characters that no one ever sees in DC films, isn't it? It's like the unknown people. It's like the Guardians of the Galaxy, but in the Suicide Squad. Like everyone knows now who Harley Quinn is, and Deadshot, and Boomerang. Boomerang's back. Obviously, what's his name? Captain fucking... Who's Joel Kinnaman playing in this? I completely forgot off the top of my head.
Rick Flag.
Rick Flair. I love the fact John Cena is playing the Captain American douchebag.
I know who Rick Flag is.
Do you know who Rick Flair is, though?
Yeah, he's a wrestler from the 80s.
Just checking. I don't know. It looks fun. It looks dumb. It looks like a 70s war film. And there's like 30 cast members in this? We're going to be lucky if we get out with Margot Robbie at this point.
It's guess what's going to be left at the end of the film, isn't it?
Pete Davidson? If you haven't seen, what's the film he's in? King of Staten Island. It's really fucking good. And I guarantee Pete Davidson's going to be pretty good in this film.
He's the guy that is
right.
forever cursed to not have a girlfriend as fit as his ex-girlfriend, isn't he?
Probably, yes.
What?
He was the rebound boy for oh god, Ariana Grande. Pete Davidson was engaged to Ariana Grande.
Oh, yes, I know.
How the hell did he pull that off?
I remember.
But yeah. I'm quite excited to see what Alice Braga does. She's the star of Queen of the South, which is a Netflix sort of drug lord show that I've been watching. It's like the female take on the Narcos universe, and she's really good in that. But it'll be interesting to see what she does with whatever character she's playing in Suicide Squad 2. I can't remember what character she's playing, but
the Latino lady, is it?
yes.
Yeah, she looked like she just had a gun, so I'm not sure who she is.
I'm a character. I'm in costume because I've got a gun. It's like the worst Halloween costume. Yeah, I know what you mean. Luke, who do you think's going to survive at the end of this?
Surviving will be. I'm going to go with Jai Courtney.
Yeah,
because she'll be in the sequel again. Margot Robbie,
who's
obviously.
Jai Courtney playing?
Boomerang.
Boomerang.
Okay, yeah.
He was
One of
in
the
the
best
first
things about the original.
Yeah, he was in the first one, wasn't he? So he'll survive. Margot Robbie will survive because, the franchise is dead without her in it. Idris Elba, probably, because he can't be cheap. Viola Davis,
kill him off quickly.
probably.
Yeah.
And then literally anybody else could die.
I don't know if Joel Kinnaman's going to make it all the way through it. So he's the one supposed to be leading this fucking bunch of ratbacks. So
yeah, if they
who's playing King Shark?
there's no voice at the minute. Steve Agee was doing the CGI motion capture for it. But nobody knows what Taika Waititi's playing because he is actually on the cast list for it. So it could be him.
He could be doing the voice.
So if he's doing like the voice of Korg from
Hey
Thor
guys.
Ragnarok, hi guys,
I'm half shock.
because I
Oh
guarantee.
my god, please.
Yeah.
That'd be so good.
I guarantee it's going to be something like that. But I reckon that King Shark is going to be like the fucking Groot of the Suicide Squad. But if you look at the behind the scenes bit, there's literally a bit. Because I think it's R-rated as well. There's a bit where like you can see King Shark picking somebody up with his mouth open, like he's gonna fucking eat someone. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. Like the fact that we've actually sat down and talked about it for longer than 2 minutes, makes me a little bit more.
I think you said the key thing when you were talking about when you watched the behind the scenes trailer was that it looks fun. I think that's the important thing to remember with the Suicide Squad movie because it's not about to win any Oscars or anything daft like that. The first one wasn't amazing, but it was still fun. If you keep that in mind for the second one, you're not going to go in expecting anything.
DC's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, whoever's left will be the Guardians of the Galaxy, but if there's anyone
But
left.
then the Guardians of the Galaxy is much like Suicide Squad. The cast tends to change quite a lot.
I think the good thing about this is like it's not adhering to anything. It's completely separate. During the DC fandom, like DC basically came out and was like, there is a multiverse, and all these films are like, that's it. They're just out there. They're not necessarily connected by a continuity or anything. They're just out there. It doesn't need to be connected. I think that's one of the best things that they can do, and I think that's going to give James Gunn a hell of a lot of freedom with this film. I think that's the one thing I'm looking forward to because if there's anything that was kind of like a drawback to Guardians of the Galaxy is the fact that they're trying to tie in like the Thanos stuff, which kind of felt a little bit shoehorned in at the time. Obviously, it was setting up like Avengers Endgame and all the rest of it, but So I guess off the back of that, the Flash movie has had a director attached to it for a while. So it was what's his name, Brad? I'm not 100%. Is it Andy Machete?
I honestly don't know. I didn't know this was happening. So
it's basically the director of It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 is doing. So the horror director is going to do the Flash movie, which has been revealed as Flashpoint. And as far as we know, it is bringing both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck back as Batman for the first time, I think, in recorded history. I mean, guys, we're getting fucking Michael Keaton back as Batman.
Why would you bring Ben Affleck back as Batman?
Because he's got his shit back together and DC's kind of on the up again.
Yeah, I've got no problem with Batman being in movies, but why Ben Affleck?
Well, apparently he's meant to be like the emotional thread of this film, so we'll see. I don't know. Apparently he read the script a week before the announcement, so I'm guessing he's not going to be in it a lot.
Do you know what DC needs to do? They just need to take the animated films and make them into real films. Because I watched Justice League Dark Apocalypse War this week as well. That film is amazing. If you haven't watched any animated like DC films, go and watch that. It's brilliant. Oh, and there is a Flashpoint one as well that kind of ties into that Justice League Dark film as well.
I would watch more, but the problem is like a lot of them are like R-rated, like killing.
Don't watch them with your kids.
No, I know.
Child appropriate.
You can't watch like The Killing Joke with a 5-year-old. You know, as much as I'd love to. I'm looking forward to seeing what Andy does with that film off the back of it, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, because no matter what you think of those films, I think they're pretty good, but
I haven't seen Chapter 2 yet, but Chapter 1 was good.
I almost picked up Chapter 2 for £8. The only thing I'll say with Chapter 2 is if you're expecting anything better than the first one, I don't know. It's just a continuation. It's nothing more, nothing less, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They don't go any bigger, they don't go any less. It's seen as like a single part film. But for some people, I don't know. It's not for everyone, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the Flash movie, because they've been on about that film since the release of Justice League, Brad? How many people have been attached to the Flash film? It's been and gone, like
but yeah, pass. I don't know. It's
a
been
lot.
a few.
Yeah.
If DC were doing a Marvel, like the Flashpoint would be a really good thing to like reset everything.
Yeah, it would.
I don't think it needs to reset. It just shows that there's a multiverse, and you've got like the Joker in it, you've got Flashpoint, you've got Wonder Woman, but none of it's like connected. You could bring mate, you played Bruce Wayne's dad in Batman vs Superman back. What's his face from The Walking Dead?
Negan.
Yeah, Negan.
Sam and Dean's dad.
The comedian. Can't remember his name. I can remember every other role he's been in, but apart from that. Anyway, I guess on to probably
John Winchester.
John Winchester. One of the biggest, is it the biggest news from DC fandom? The Batman. Matt Reeves' The Batman trailer released that week. Guys, what do you think of the Batman trailer? I'm going to go to Luke first, because I haven't really heard your thoughts on this, I don't think.
I'm on board.
Really?
Yeah, it's nice to see them picking a decent Batman. Fuck you, Ben Affleck. And it's nice to see...
Wow. Whoa. Hold on. Wait. Dude, like, I'm pretty sure I remember you saying no way fucking Pattinson can pull this off, but...
Yeah, but he can't be worse than Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is the worst Batman in the history of all Batmans. Like, I don't know who he was sleeping with to get that role, but he was fucking dreadful.
Have you seen
Batman?
Have you seen Batman and Robin?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yes.
hold on a minute.
Okay.
I stand by my
George
statement.
Clooney.
George Clooney has literally come out in the past going, I am so sorry for
Yes,
for that.
but that's not necessarily his fault, and neither was it Val Kilmer's fault when he did it. As I can't remember what the Batman movie was called that Val Kilmer did Batman for.
Batman Forever.
They were just cheesy Batman movies, weren't they? So they were playing a part in a movie that was doomed to fail. But yeah, Ben Affleck should have done way better with Batman, bearing in mind he was the next Batman after the Christopher Nolan trilogy. So
I think it's a tough act to follow, isn't
it's
it?
a tough act to follow. Big shoes to fill, I agree. And if you'd give it a real good show, then I would have said, all right, you're not as good as Christian Bale, and who was ever going to be as good as Christian Bale, but at least you gave it your all. But he just sucked the life out of it for me.
Well, you never know. You might get a better version of Affleck's Batman in Zack Snyder's 4-hour cut of the Justice League coming next year.
Luke will never know because he'll never watch it.
Yeah, I'll never know. Do you want me to sit through 4 hours of Ben Affleck? I don't think so.
I'm going to watch it. I don't give a fuck.
I know you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
You get erect every time we talk about Zack Snyder.
No, I'm just... I want to see how different it is. I want to see if it actually... Like, it's probably going to be fucking worse. I'll be honest, right? But I still want to see it. I
don't think it'll be
justice.
worse. I just don't think it will be all the effort that everybody's gone to get it released. Because,
wouldn't it be hilarious if it was worse though?
Yes.
Oh, it would,
Yes, it
it
would.
would be fantastic.
Brad's waiting for it to fail.
I am.
Me too. To be honest, me too. I'm sick of hearing about Zack Snyder's fucking special cut of this movie. It was a
I can't-
shit movie, regardless of who was the director of it. So fuck it.
Anyway, Batman.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Batman, Luke.
Yeah, no, I'm on board. I hope it's dark and moody like the Nolan movies. I know it's going to be separate, and I know it's not going to be probably as good as the Nolan movies. And I'm desperately trying not to keep comparing it to the Nolan movies, but yeah, the trailer looked really good. I'll give Patterson a fair crack of the whip at the role, and if he fucks it up, he'll be the new Ben Affleck. It's simple as that.
I hope they do. I hope they do like a Dune-esque, like internal monologue throughout the whole film. Because
Dune.
yeah,
Like Dune, the
Dune,
film.
Dune, yeah. They have like he has like an internal monologue, doesn't he, throughout the whole film?
What? David Lynch's. Dune,
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. It's just so we're on the same
Like-
page because I'm waiting for that trailer to drop. Sorry. Different thing. It's fine.
Because that's like when you read a Batman comic, that's how you hear his thoughts.
Yeah,
That's how he explains what he's doing.
That would be cool,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I hope they do something like that, or like maybe not the whole way through the film, but like when he's being a detective.
Has he actually managed to get buff? Because you don't actually see him, really. Or is he still like a scrawny man?
He still looks
No,
like Cedric.
I think he has bulked up a bit, but then obviously we've gone through COVID-19 and he said he hasn't kept up with the training regime. Brad, thoughts on the Batman trailer, man?
Yeah, I'm on board as well. I thought it looked really good. I like the sort of dark theme of it. That I know me and you have talked about, Mike, but the bit where he just batters that guy is so good.
Absolutely fucking square, triangle, whatever the fuck it is on.
Yeah.
He does.
That was an Arkham style combo.
Yeah. But the best, right? Let's be honest, right? From the trailer, can someone? Are those thugs that Patterson runs into? Are they Joker's like henchmen, or is that the Riddler's henchmen, or what? Like, I have no idea.
I thought they might have been part of Penguin's gang, maybe.
You
yeah.
reckon? Because they've got they've got white face.
Yeah,
paint
I'm not
with,
really
like-
sure. It did look a bit like it, didn't it?
Yeah, so at that point, does that mean like the Joker kind of already exists, or is starting up in this world? Because if it, but yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've already said that the villains are on their way up in this movie, though, aren't they? Because the
Yeah.
Riddler's not quite the Riddler, and the Penguin doesn't know himself as the Penguin yet, and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, it could be a secret that the Joker's in it on his way up as well. But I mean, they've got
Is it-
the Riddler, they've got the Penguin. What's the
Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Zoe Kravitz.
Thank
They're
you.
not doing
She's in
it-
it as well, isn't she? So
They're not doing another origin movie, are they?
No, this is actually year 2 of Batman. So
Okay, cool.
you probably won't see an origin, but this is basically
Yeah.
a Batman that doesn't know himself. He doesn't know his limits yet or anything. Like, as in, he has no moral. He's like, you can see it from the trailer. I am vengeance. I've come basically to beat the shit out of people, and I'm not holding back. And that's what I love about it. And it's not just that. It looks. I've seen a load of people refer to it as well. It looks like someone's crossed the film Seven with Batman, and it's a murder mystery film, and that's the vibe. This is not your Schumacher's Batman, and I don't think it's your Nolan's Batman. This is like a detective / thriller Batman that I don't think we've ever seen before. I think it looks really good.
There is
I-
a comic book line of him that's similar to that, what you've just described.
Yeah, because I expect most people are waiting for him to say I'm Batman, but saying I'm vengeance is just it's straight from the comic book, from what I've heard. Another thing as well is like Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. Why the fuck didn't we get that sooner? It's fucking perfect, man.
Agreed.
He suits that role so
But so
well.
was Gary Oldman as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely on board. I hope, at the minute it's meant to be out next year. Whether it actually happens or not, because unfortunately, production started again a couple of weeks ago. I think we said about it. But Robert Pattinson's actually got COVID-19 at the minute, so they've had to pause production, I guess, for the next couple of weeks. So
Yeah, it won't delay it too much, though, will it?
Yeah, so hopefully he gets on the mend.
Also, there was a
Quick.
good use of a Nirvana song in that trailer.
Yes, there was.
Good.
Who was on about the trailers last week? Was it last episode? Someone was on about the use of trailers in films, like it going. They have like action shots and a slow version of a song instead, like slow version of like a current song. Whereas
Yeah,
this,
they've done it quite a lot recently.
Yeah,
like
but-
a lot of trailers seem to do it now.
But this trailer literally just uses a slow song that builds, and I don't know, it works really well with it. I don't know why anyone didn't use this song sooner. Yeah, and then off the back of the Batman, we're actually getting a HBO Max is creating a prequel set during Batman's Year One, and I'm hoping Jeffrey Wright's on board as Commissioner Gordon in that, and it's better than Gotham. Because apparently this is what Gotham was supposed to be, but it didn't end up being Gotham. It was a bit.
Sorry, going back to the film. Do we know who Alfred is? Is there Alfred in it?
Yeah, Andy Serkis is playing Alfred,
Oh, that's so good.
and it's Matt Reeves, so they're reteaming off the back of. Anyone got me? Roberts.
What?
Who did Andy Serkis and Matt Reeves? What was the film they worked on together? 10-second countdown.
Boom. Yeah.
Planet of the Apes. It was just like, wow, okay. Yeah, we talked about the Suicide Squad trailer. That's it. TV news. Before we go any further, Luke, are we allowed an extra 5-10 minutes if we go over for the last couple of topic?
Careful.
Yeah, because you'd have to stop right now. So you can.
Yeah,
have to.
okay. All right,
Shall we-
okay. I'm gonna
Let's
pass
just make
this
it
one.
not 20 minutes like we did last time.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. Very quickly, we said about it, I think last episode, we were kind of hoping that The Haunting of Bly Manor was going to make it out this year.
Oh,
So I'm going to pass this one over to Luke.
I'm so excited for this to come out. It looks fucking epic.
Right. Can you kind of explain? So basically, there was obviously, we had confirmation, I think last week, and then the beginning of this week or over the weekend, there was a trailer released for The Haunting of Bly Manor for Netflix. Can you
Yes.
explain a little bit of what is going on in that trailer?
I can't actually because I've watched it a couple of times. I can't remember an awful lot that goes on apart from the doll. Because that's the thing that like just kind of sticks in your conscious that you remember. Other than
Well,
a couple
we
of
could-
recurring cast members from the Haunting on Hill House or whatever the original series was called, which does not in any way follow this series, so you don't have to watch the first one if you've not already seen it.
Cool.
I can't remember an awful lot. I'll be honest with you. You've probably gone to the wrong person to talk
It's
about
only
the trailer.
a
but-
minute-long trailer, isn't it?
Say that again, Brad.
It's only a minute long, the trailer, so
Yeah.
it's not like...
It's a lot of like quick clips and stuff like that, but the opening shot where there's a little girl singing some creepy ass song or some creepy ass music playing, and then it cuts to like a stack of dolls, and then the head lifts up after she leaves the room. It's like, yes.
Yeah, but then
Like,
she shushes the doll.
Well, no, she shushes something that's moving behind her towards the end of the trailer.
Yeah, you don't see it.
Yeah. But it looks like we're going back to
Okay.
a haunted house and stuff like that. Brad, what do you think of the trailer?
Yeah, creepy as fuck. And I haven't seen the first series yet, so...
Do you think
You don't need to.
Do you think you will watch it though?
Yeah,
no,
but-
you don't need to.
I think if I'm going to watch this, I will watch the first
I
one.
really enjoyed the first series. It was really, really well done.
I feel like I said before, it does there's a whole kind of plot thread with the little girl that's kind of like dark, but I'm not going to ruin. I don't want to ruin it, but that's what I'm saying, Luke. If you know the whole plot thread with the little girl and what happens to the little girl, then that's kind of why I think you would like Dark. And I know I need to kind of like,
Oh, we're talking about Dark again, are we? Right, okay.
hey, I didn't talk about it for a whole episode last week, so it's fine. It's
Sure
really
you
good.
did.
No, I didn't. No, I'm pretty sure I swore off it last week. Rob, did you see this trailer?
Yeah.
Are you gonna check it out, or is
No.
this not? No? You're not gonna sit at home and watch it with the lights on and every other light in your house?
No.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question, but did you watch the first series?
No.
I was right.
It looks fucking good. I watched Doctor Sleep. I've watched The Shining. Technically, that has nothing to do with this, but the fact that basically Mike. Why
did you say it then?
Well, Mike Flanagan, the director of Haunting on Hill House, went off and he did the sequel to The Shining, which is called Doctor Sleep. Now, Doctor Sleep is a really fucking good film. I think it is. But
it's good.
You've seen it. I watched the director's cut, and it's about 3 hours long. And
fuck that.
It didn't matter. No, it just went. It went like that. Honestly, it was absolutely fine, and I really enjoyed it. And what he does with the house what he does with the house, without saying anything else, not only in Doctor Sleep but also in Hill House, is really fucking good. And just like the atmosphere and the it's what he does with characters as well, because like you feel for a lot of the characters in that first season of Hill House, don't you, Luke?
Yes. Yeah, you do.
Like the boy in the first season of Hill House and what happens to him. And then he like grows up and he's an absolute mess because of what happens to him when he's a little kid, and he's just completely fucked without spoiling it. Dude, just give this man anything horror at the minute. And then to kind of go on from that, he said whilst talking about Hill House this week that his dream job would be then to go on and direct the Dark Tower series.
Don't give us hope.
And I'm like, oh, we've just had I can't remember the guy's name talking about creating like one of the best series of iterations of the Dark Tower after what that shit show was of a film. I think I can say that, Brad.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
It is fucking terrible. But dude, he's done a few adaptations of Stephen King, and Stephen King's fucking happy with it, and Doctor Sleep's fucking good, and has pleased the Stephen King fan base.
I like they need to do a TV series though. Dark Tower.
Yeah, not a film. Do a
it's
series.
Too much to cram into an hour and a half.
Yeah, it is.
Which is why I feel the film was lacking.
Yeah. Those books are so
unless
good,
Zack Snyder's got a cut of it.
Then up in that somewhere. He might do. He's got to make it first, but yeah, there's a cut. There's a cut, dude. Promise you. Where would you? Who do you think should have the Dark Tower series if Mike Flanagan directed it, Rob? Like what platform?
Yeah, what streaming service
would you expect it? Who would you want to pick it up? Amazon have passed on it already, so it's not going to be them.
It would be Netflix then, or HBO maybe.
Yeah, I think HBO would be good.
HBO would. They need their. I would say they need their next Game of Thrones, but it's on the way. Let's see how that one goes.
Do you want to elaborate on that, or are you just going to?
I can't remember what it.
Raised by Wolves.
Yourself.
Can you remember what it's called, Brad?
Is it Raised by Wolves? Is that what you're on about?
No, that's the Ridley Scott one. But there's a next game. There's literally another kind of thing with George Martin. It's like a prequel to the Game.
Oh,
of
is there?
Thrones.
I don't know. Oh, the prequel thing. Sorry.
Yeah, they had two series. And it was like one about the White Walkers and how they got made, and then there was another one about the Targaryens or something. And we're getting the Targaryens
cancelled. Well, no, wait, which one got cancelled?
The one about the White Walkers.
The White Walker.
Off the top of my head,
I'd rather see that one.
Yeah, I would as well. But yeah, if you get a chance, check out Hill House. This is dropping, I think, October 9th. The Haunting of Bly Manor, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Luke says. I'm hoping Brad checks it out because I think you would enjoy it. I don't think you need to watch the first series.
I will. No, I'm going to watch the first one though first.
Get Lucifer gone.
I can already tell that I'm going to whore the shit out of Bly Manor and just watch it over one weekend, I think. Especially if it drops in October, ready for Halloween. That would be brilliant.
Yeah. Because I'm always looking for something around Halloween to watch. So this is perfect. The only condition is, Brad, you have to watch with the lights out.
Oh, cold, dark winter nights with the lights out, watching a horror series. That would be fantastic.
Disagree.
It's the best way to watch horror films. I can't watch horror films. Can't watch horror films with the lights on. Anyway, very quickly, moving on to news in music this week. There was a album released over the last couple of weeks, Luke.
Was there?
Yes. Do you want to give a bit of an introduction to that?
would this be the Paris album that we've heard most
Yes.
of already because they released all the singles before they released the album?
And on an EP
There's only been one album this week that's been released.
Has there?
Well, that's what you just said.
No, I said within over. Not lit. I didn't mean it. I meant
No one else is
applicable to
producing
us.
music.
Yeah,
No.
Paris are that much of a force nowadays that nobody else wanted to release any music on the same week that they
Yeah.
dropped
Well, that
Use Me.
makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, they cleared the.
Cleared the
Release
Spotify
schedule.
release schedule. Yeah. No, it's to be fair, like if you took away the fact that all the singles that they dropped were on an EP, and then they put that EP into an album, which is kind of lazy, but we'll forgive them. The album is a banger. To be fair,
To be fair, though, people used to do that. Bands used to do that. They release an EP, right, and then most of the tracks off that would actually make it onto the album with
Yeah,
a lot of fillers.
right?
So it's,
Okay, you said most of the tracks. Every track on that EP is in the album. It's half the
Is
album.
it?
I'm
Really?
pretty sure, yeah. I might have to check my facts on that, but I mean, it's 5 singles off of an 11-track album that we've already heard.
Yeah, I think
And then they
we've
just
we
drop
talked
the
about
album
this.
and go, there you go, guys, we finished it and put a bow on it for you. But
I think we talked about this before, didn't we? With regards to like singles and stuff like that. It's a weird. We're in a weird time now where the industry's changing, and like you're just seeing music drop like every couple of weeks, every month or so.
I think it's so easy to put, not easy to put music out, but it's so accessible for everyone. Like, I think you have to keep getting yourself out there to keep people interested,
yeah,
and so they don't go off and look at the other hundreds of bands that are releasing or singles all the time. And
Hype
well,
train.
it's yeah, but it's keeping interest. You think when we were younger and used to go like HMV or wherever the hell you used to get music from before like streaming and all the rest of it, you know, you'd hear maybe like 1 or 2 tracks off the album, and then you'd go down, you'd buy the album, and you'd either like it or you wouldn't. So you're in a day and age now, you can you know, you're either streaming the album or you're buying it, and you may or may not have heard half the tracks off it by now as well. I mean, we had kind of the same when we talked about the Midnight's album Monsters. We kind of heard like 4 tracks off it before it even released. Anyway, back on track with regards to Paris's album Use Me. Luke, what do you think of the album anyway?
well, like I say, I'd really enjoy it. I think if you took the fact away that you've heard so much of it already, Paris fans like me and you, I mean, it is a banger. Like there's literally one song from the 11 that I don't like, which is the title track of the album, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really like the Use Me track, but all the other 10 tracks are great.
I will give you that. Yeah, I'm kind of.
To be fair, it might be that I don't not like it. It's just the weak one of the 11, so it stands out as the one that I don't like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's her kind of stepping out of her, or the band kind of stepping out of their normality and kind of collaborating. This is the first time they've collaborated with anyone else as well on a track.
Yeah.
But
my
yeah, I mean,
my picks would be Stay Gold and Wish You Were Well.
yes. I watched a couple of things over the week, and she reckons Lynn Gunn from the band Paris basically said Stay Gold is one of her favorite tracks.
Yeah, that is a
But,
tune.
Wish You Well is really good as well. I really do like that. I think the one that stands out to me though is Old Wounds. Like it's a bit of a slow one, but yeah. Brad, what do you think?
I'm going to say the stand up for me was Loveless, and it's like the most different song on the album.
I can't remember
Also a
which
good
one.
song. I like how we're all picking songs that were not on the original EP. It's just like, yeah, all the
Yeah.
ones we've heard before are fine, but we'll forget about those.
I only listened to it today, so I've only listened to it once.
No,
but it was
I
good.
still like the intro track. I think the intro track completely sets up this album.
Mm.
This is a different track. And I don't know, it's just like the lead riff kind of plays through, and the whole kind of solo, Give Me a Minute. And it's just funny because I'm like, I keep saying to my kids, like, you know, they'd be like, come do this. I'm like, just give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm like, go away. And then it's all I kind of think about. Rob, I don't suppose you've listened to this at all. It's not
I've
yours.
never heard a Paris song ever.
What?
It's probably nice sort of cup of tea, but
No, yeah.
Does your
I
wife
know a
not
lot of
like
people.
Paris?
probably not. They don't. She doesn't wear makeup like black gothic makeup or anything. So.
What's that got to do with liking the music?
What?
I thought that's what most. Is she like motionless and white and stuff like that?
Yeah, but she doesn't like them because they wear makeup.
I don't know.
Massive awkward pause.
Awkward pause.
Yeah. Anyway, it's saying we weren't going to run 20 minutes over. Let's go.
Do you want to talk about the last one quick, or leave it?
What? Bring Me the Horizon?
Yes.
No, we have to now. I've mentioned it.
Brad, do you want to talk about this one?
It's really good. I think it's better than Parasite Eve, and I know Luke disagrees, but I think it's better.
Okay. So Bring Me the Horizon. We talked about. I think it was a couple of episodes ago. They've released Ludens. They've released Parasite Eve, and they've just released a track featuring Youngblood, or the singer from Youngblood, called Obey. It's heavy. It's kind of all over the place, and it's catchy. I think it took a couple of listens for me to kind of get into it, but I don't know if I like it better than Parasite Eve, but I do like it. Brad, Luke?
Yeah, I pretty much echo what you just said. I like it, but not as much as Parasite Eve. But I know why that I don't like it as much as Parasite Eve. And that's that I don't like Youngblood's voice, which
okay.
kind of ruins anything he's on, to be fair.
I thought it kind of fit in pretty well with it, but I
thought he did as well.
Yeah.
I like the video as well. I was waiting for the Power Rangers to jump up.
Yeah. It's good. They've kind of got their own kind of genre or something going at the minute. And this is another Mick Gordon track. So Mick Gordon's produced this as well. And it's definitely recommended to listen to it with headphones because it's not the same on like a phone or car. So yeah, it is pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they do. But I was listening to something earlier with Ollie Sykes talking about they're not really doing an album now. They just want like a load of bangers, and there's going to be like 6 or 8 tracks.
I'll be amazed if this doesn't come out as like not an EP. What's the thing in between an EP and an album? Is that like an LP or whatever they used to call them?
An LP is an album, and EP's like a
4 or 5 tracks.
Short
yeah.
album.
Right. Okay. Maybe
It's
a
gonna
long
be a mini
EP then,
album.
so it'd be like 7 or 8 tracks. But an album needs to be like 10 or 12, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
LEP.
Yeah. Rob, have you heard this track at all?
Yes, it does. It sounds very good on my studio grade headphones.
yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
I bet it does.
Do you want to promote them for certain purposes? No. Did you like the track?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
You don't. Yeah.
It's not. It didn't rock my world, but yeah, it's good to listen to.
I feel like they're definitely on like a return to form at the minute. Anyway, like
It's definitely not their best song they've ever done, but it was good.
No, I agree. I kind of feel like they've got their own thing going now, and I think we said last time I kind of went off track, but I feel like this new thing that they're doing is different enough that is making me interested. You know. Anyway, Luke, we have to get an answer to your question before we get out of here.
So
David Duchovny, right?
incorrect.
Oh.
Would anybody have been interested in watching Goodfellas, an iconic movie about gangsters and true to the field of?
I haven't seen it.
What?
Is it Vince Vaughn?
No, it's
Not
not.
going to
Vince
wind him up
Vaughn.
more. I know you hate Vince Vaughn, so
It
Adam Sandler.
was floated to the director Martin Scorsese that instead of his choice
Dustin Hoffman.
of Ray Liotta to play Henry Hill, whatever his name is,
Henry
Hill. That's it. Thank you.
Jimmy
It should
Hill.
have been Tom Cruise.
is that like Vanilla Sky Tom Cruise, or is that older than that?
I haven't seen it, and I'm going to say that's a bad.
It would have been a terrible
idea.
choice. Goodfellas came out in 1990, so this is like 3 years after Top Gun. Tom Cruise. So
So you can see their choice. You can see their reason.
Tom
behind
Cruise's career would have gone a very different direction if he'd taken that role, I reckon.
I think it would have been terrible. I mean,
Had he done a Mission Impossible by
no,
then?
the first Mission Impossible was
No.
96. But yeah, so the producers really wanted Tom Cruise because they wanted a big name to go along with De Niro. but yeah, Scorsese put his foot down and said, "No, I want Ray Liotta to do it," and then
I don't know.
got Joe Pesci on board as well, and then the rest is history, as they say.
I kind of would have wanted to know what Kenny Loggins would have done for the fucking soundtrack to that, because I don't know if they could have reused "Playing with the Boys" from Top Gun or not.
He's such an
In
arsehole.
Goodfellas. Play.
I can't believe Brad's not seen Goodfellas. I bet you've not seen Casino either, have you?
Seen what?
Casino either, have you?
No.
Oh,
I was going to say, you talked about Scarface. I hadn't seen that either.
oh my god.
Have you seen Tombstone?
I don't know what that is.
It's fine.
I'm not sure
Okay.
you're qualified to be on this podcast, Brad.
Wait, no, he is qualified because we did say when we start the podcast, welcome to Bradley, who has not seen anything. So,
Yeah,
the good thing is,
I forget that he's the butt of the jokes when we've not seen things. Yeah,
I'm like the Internet Explorer of the group.
it's just the film person of the group. Anyway, that is it for this week. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and all the rest of us. If you want to send us any thoughts, feedback, we're over there. That is it from us. Say cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Bye.